Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. So it's been nearly a year now since I've been driving the Viggen, and I've got some more experience now, so I'm redoing my tutorial videos. So first of all, we're looking at takeoff and landing. So to take the Viggen off, it's extremely easy. There's not much that can go wrong. The only real dangers are a tail strike, I've noticed over the last year or so. So when rotating the Viggen, you've got to be careful not to pull too high an angle. So when I'm not sure of the exact angle that I'm pulling, but I'll show you the kind of angle I pull when I'm rotating. And don't be tempted to pull back any further because you'll risk a tail strike. It will take off in its own time, basically. When it's heavily loaded up with fuel and bombs and stuff like that, then it will take a while to act from the rotation to actually getting airborne. Other than that, there's not really much to say. There's no flaps to worry about on this vehicle. The engine, we don't go full blast. We like to do stage 2 for a stage 2 afterburner for a takeoff at any weight, basically. To look at the stages, we've got 1, 2 and 3 there. I'll show you if I hold the brakes and quickly accelerate. You can hear them when they come on, hear when the afterburner comes on, and you can see which stage you're on. So that's all there is to it, really. So we're going to hold the wheel brakes on. We're going to power up to mill power and hold. Then full burner, stage 2 burner and release. To get to stage 2 burner, you just need to increase the throttle enough, basically, nearly to the top of the throttle. Tiny bit of rudder just to keep it going. And if we look at the speedo on the left, I like to start rotating at 250 clicks per hour. There. Hold about there. And she'll take off when she's ready. And she was up, because we're fairly light, she was up before 300 clicks per hour. Now, something to say is, I'll put the gear up now. You can see the gear indicators are down at the moment. When I put the gear up, those indicators will go away. With the Viggen, it's quite useful. You can actually press the gear key when you're rolling down the runway. So even if you're at, say, 100 clicks per hour along the runway, press the G key, and they won't actually go up. The gear won't go up until you're airborne. So that's a nice little feature. Right, so I'm going to do that. No flaps to worry about, and you're airborne. And you can come off to mill power pretty much straight away. Come off those burners, and she'll be stable even with heavy load. So that's takeoff. That's pretty easy. Now we're going to go and look at the landing. So I'm going to drive a quick circuit. We're going around a left-hand circuit at this airfield. We want to be achieving about 1,000 feet for driving the circuit and about 500 clicks per hour, which is about 300 knots. So we're on a downwind now as we go parallel to the runway. And when we turn off, we'll extend about a mile before we turn in. And when we turn into the final, then, well, let me pause it now. There's 2 different types of landing we can do. One is without the thrust reverser, which we'll do first, more like just a traditional plane landing, and the second, then we'll go round and we'll do it again with the thrust reverser. It says in the manual, and other guides say, to land pretty slow, about 250 knots, and on a 3-degree glide slope, essentially like a normal plane, if you will, and it can land that fine. However, in my experience, I find that doing that, this plane likes to ride at a very high angle of attack, and you lose visibility, and it actually becomes quite hard to land. So I prefer to go a little bit higher and steeper, more like an F-18 approach onto a carrier, and almost slam it down onto the runway from a higher angle. That way, you get much better visibility. The landing gear are seriously rugged in this, so she doesn't mind being treated quite hard like that. And over the past few months, I've just found that's the best way to land, so that's what we're going to do. Regards braking, the air brake is absolutely useless in the Viggen. It doesn't do very little. So whenever you're coming for landing, you'll be coming in from a circuit like this, so you'll be coming from a turn into the final. So use it during the turn is where you want to burn your airspeed off. So I'm going to turn in now, and we want to come in at about 300 clicks. I don't like going much lower than 300 clicks, again, because the angle of attack gets too high. So I'm going to come off the power. Make the turn now. Where's the runway? There it is. Below the 500 clicks, so gear can go out now. Fine to go out. Check the gear come out with the 3 lights on the warning panel on the left. There they are. 400 clicks per hour. Coming in a little bit shy of the runway, so we're going to level out there. So I've reached about 300 clicks there. That's pretty much my landing speed, whether I'm heavy or whether I'm light. If you're very heavy with a full load of bombs, which is unlikely, you might want to go about 350 just to get a little bit extra lift. But you can see now coming down at this kind of angle, which is higher than 3 degrees, and steeper than 3 degrees, and at this speed of 300 clicks. We've got a lovely angle of attack. We can see the runway, don't have to struggle to see it. And we've got our path vector there, that little circle there, and we're just going to put that at the threshold of the runway. Like so. Make sure we don't get any slower. We don't really want to get any slower. So unlike a normal plane, an F-15 or a flanker, any Tiger, you'll be coming in much lower and much less steeply at this point. But again, we're going high on purpose. And then we're essentially going to start our dive now. And I'm going to cut power about now and glide in. And at the very last minute, whoops, then level now, and down, and pretty much as simple as that. I leveled out a little bit too early there, and hence I had to kind of aim down again, if you like. But that was basically a normal landing with non-thrust reversers, and that's how I like to do it. Let's go around again and do it with the thrust reverser. So you might find when you're taking off, I mentioned earlier about tail strikes. When you pull up, when you do the rotation, it really likes to rotate up. It really pulls you up. So you might actually need a bit of down stick if your trim is not set up right for takeoff. So once you've rotated the nose up in the air, you may need a little bit of forward stick, sorry, is what I meant to say, just to make sure you don't rotate too high. So that's just one thing to bear in mind. Right, I'm going to get back in the left-hand circuit, 500 clicks per hour, 1,000 feet, stand by. Okay, just over 500 clicks, just over, 1,000 feet there, so that's okay. We're just going to extend a half a mile or a mile before we turn into final. So this is going to be with the thrust reverser, so let's talk about that. First of all, we're going to pull the thrust reverser lever there. So it's pulled out, the green light's on, that means the thrust reverser is engaged. Now to actually get it to function, what we have to do is land like we did last time, and with thrust reverser we can actually land a little bit more aggressively and a little bit faster if we want, because obviously we're not going to take up much runway. As soon as the rear wheels touch down, then what I like to do is off the power, neutralise the stick, tap the wheel brakes, not a huge amount, because the wheel brakes are very powerful in the Viggen. And tapping the wheel brakes, what that's going to do is essentially slam the front of the aircraft down and slam the front gear down. And that's important because this thrust reverser won't engage until the front gear have pressure on them. So what I can't do is land and then have the nose up in the air for the next few seconds. The front gear have to be down, I believe, within a second of the rear gear touching. Otherwise, this thrust reverser won't work. So what we're going to see is it's coming in same as last time, maybe a little bit steeper, maybe even a little bit faster. We're going to touch the back wheels, so I'm going to feather, touch the wheels, back wheels down, neutralise the stick, dab of brake, wait until the front nose bounces, then we're going to put the throttle forward again, and because the thrust reverser will be on, the thrust buckets will engage and we'll get reverse thrust. When we get reverse thrust, I wouldn't suggest going full power, I'd suggest going about half power, because it can get very twitchy. So what we'll see is when we've got reverse thrust in, it'll like to snake left and right, and we're going to have to use rudder at that point to neutralise that. Regards to wheel brakes, apart from that initial tap, we don't want any wheel brakes at all. It'll just upset the balance. Okay, so that's going to get that done. So let's stick at our circuit speed of 500 clicks. Again, you'll always, unless you're coming in for an IFR landing, you'll always be coming in from a circuit like this, so you're always going to be coming in for a left or right turn. So use that to reduce your speed. Let's turn in now, that's about 3/4 of a mile. Gear out of 500 clicks per hour. Use the turn to reduce your speed. Stay above 300 clicks per hour. Check gear down. Gear is down. Turned in short again for some reason. So we're going to stay quite high again, going for a 4 or 5 degree descent rather than 3 degree normal descent. I find this more like landing on an aircraft carrier than landing on a runway with the Viggen, and that seems just to get the best, most reliable results. Okay, Let's get that path vector right on the edge of the runway until we can't see it anymore. That will do about there. Coming in a bit of a crooked angle, but it doesn't really matter. So you can see we can barely see the bottom of the runway now, so if you come in slow and at a low glide slope, you can barely see the runway at all, and that's no good, I don't think. Right, I'm going to go off the power now. Feather out now, wait for the rear wheels to touch. Dab of brake. Nose is down, power on, and there you've got the, you can hear the roar of the reverser buckets. So we've now got reverser on, and there we go, no wheel brakes needed at all. We've landed in about a quarter of the runway, even though we came in relatively fast. As your party trick, you can go backwards if you like. One thing you should never do is dab your brakes on when you're going backwards, otherwise this will happen. Whee! And you'll smash your aeroplane up. So there's just one thing to bear in mind. Instead of using reverse brake, just turn the reverser off and power forward. And that's about it. Really easy, one of the easiest planes to land and take off. Very rarely you have a problem with it. The extra bonus is if you've got a crosswind, Reapers like to fly with crosswinds on quite a lot, it automatically neutralizes the crosswind. It does auto rudder. No idea how it does it, but it does it and it's really cool. That's all I've got to say. I hope that helps, and I'll see you later.